Just about 6 months ago, a dynamic young woman stepped into a big job in the Garden City, president and CEO of the United Way. Brittany Burnett shared some of the agency's successes recently at the United Way's 84th annual meeting and luncheon.
The United Way impacts the lives of someone every 3 minutes, and actually we impact the lives of over 1 in 5 people throughout the CSRA. So it's for things like after-school programs, it's making sure that our seniors are in safe and structured environments, it's making sure that our little small kids are on set and they are ready to succeed when they enter kindergarten, and everything in between.
And we are so happy to have Brittany Burnett with us here in the studio today. Thank you for coming back to the show.
Thanks, Jenny. I'm glad to be here.
You know, I like the one thing you're talking about in that soundbite, because United Way is that big umbrella, and you serve people from the little children to senior citizens.
We do. We say we serve people actually from before they were born until they are seniors and everything in between. So making sure it's little kids, it's young adults, and it's mature adults, and everyone else in between.
Now, I had the pleasure of being a co-MC with my dear friend Brad Means at that annual meeting, and you had an exciting announcement about the money that was raised in the campaign.
We did. We were actually able to announce to the community that we've raised just over $3 million from very generous supporters throughout the CSRA that we will be able to then invest back in our community to help all of those people we just mentioned.
Right, right. And you know, there are a lot of ways that you can support the United Way. Of course, you can volunteer at different agencies, and it can also be as simple as just having a payroll deduction.
Exactly.
The money you don't even miss, that just comes out of your check.
Exactly, and that's what most people actually know United Way for, is people say, I give at the workplace. Right. Some people give $1 a paycheck, all the way to much, much more. And others who are unable to give financially say, I love to garden, I want to spread pine straw, I want to paint a mural, I want to make a blanket. So they can do that and give back with their time and their talent as well.
Now, Brittany is a young mother. She's a working mother, and she, as we said, has a really big job. But Brittany's heart has always been in service. Even as a college student, Brittany was involved in the Scouts, and I heard her tell a very funny story at a Girl Scout meeting recently about her experience as a troop leader and cookie sales. Please just give us the Reader's Digest version of that.
So my sorority in college, we had just recently adopted Girl Scouts as our national philanthropy. And so I raised my hand to help out in what I thought would be once or twice over the year to help these young girls with some skills they needed and do crafts and fun things. And before I knew it, I was the troop leader, and I was also the cookie mom. So I was 19 years old being the cookie mom, and I had some 7 and 8-year-olds, and we sold 750 boxes of cookies, and we thought that was a great accomplishment.
Okay, this is the kicker. Okay, you got that 750 boxes.
And so when I called the council to say, you know, how do I come pick up the cookies, I had a 2-door little car, and I thought they would just deliver them to me. And they said, you have to come pick up the cookies by yourself. And I knew I could not fit all of those cookies in my little 2-door car. Right. And then they said, but there is one way we will deliver the cookies to you. And I said, okay, what is that? And they said, if you order 1,500 boxes, we will deliver the cookies to you.
Double your order. Yeah.
So in a weak moment, I said, okay, we can do that. And so before I knew it, we had committed to 1,500 boxes of Girl Scout cookies that were to then be sold. And so my entire apartment was full of cookies, and coffee tables and closets full of cookies. And we got real creative on how we could sell those cookies, and it taught those young girls all the skills they needed around entrepreneurship and tenacity, and by golly, we sold every last box of those cookies.
I love it. You know, a woman does what a woman has to do.
That's right.
That's it. That's it. Well, that's a great story, and it is a great lesson for everybody. And you know, you do what you have to do. You needed them delivered. Okay, yep, we can sell those. I love that, Brittany. Tell me a little bit more about what we need to know right now about the United Way.
So we've got a big project coming up. It's called Project Serve, and it's actually on April 26th. So right now we've got over 300 volunteers who are scheduled to do projects throughout the entire community. So if people are interested in helping, or if organizations are interested and need volunteers, you can just go to our website and there's information about Project Serve there.
So you're
people can
saying
help.
that just anybody in the community can help. It's not like you have to do it with your workplace or whatever.
You don't, anyone in the community can help.
And what's the date again?
April 26th.
Okay.
And that's on a Friday. And so if you can't join us for that, we've got another upcoming event, which is our annual book bash. So if you are clearing out your closet, if you're doing some spring cleaning.
Oh, this is the time when everybody's doing spring cleaning.
Then gather all of those books, and we will be happy to take those books, and then we distribute them to children throughout the community in a date that culminates on June 7th.
And you'll find those on our website, WJBF.com. Just click the Jennie link. Brittany, Burnett, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Jennie.
Still ahead on Jennie, raising awareness about a rare anemia. Preteen Destiny Tucker bravely shares her health battle after the break.